our media for joining us. And thank you, Aneesah, Tina, and Coach Rashid for joining us. We're going to jump right into question and answer, and we're going to start with Megan. Megan, go ahead.
Oh, awesome. Thank you. Hey, everyone. Happy Tuesday to you. Hope you guys are doing very well. TC, it's good to see you again after seeing you in Atlanta. My question is actually for Aneesah. I know that you haven't been
Well,
with
you let me
Connecticut.
know.
Uh-oh. Am I getting some feedback there?
Go
Can you
ahead,
guys hear
Megan.
me? Okay, perfect. But my question is for Aneesah. I know you haven't been in Connecticut long, but I wanted to ask you, what were your first impressions of Tina, and what has she taught you so far in your rookie season?
Yes, of course, before I came here, I knew that Tina would be here. She's an all-time great, all-time vet. And I want to be able to be a sponge, learn as much about the game that I possibly can be, and accomplish. And she just told me to be myself, honestly, the first day, just coming here with my motor and be aggressive and focused.
Megan, follow up?
Yes, and just a quick follow-up, if I may. TC, how do you keep learning about yourself, so many years in the game? Is there anything that you don't know about yourself as a player that you discovered in this offseason?
I think it's just I just know like the grace and the calmness that I have, the patience that I've had, because throughout my tenure in my career, I've been on many different teams that look different, many teams that were more experienced, more advanced. But we have a lot of first-year players in the WNBA. We have a first-year WNBA head coach. So just making sure I have patience and grace and just willing to, do what they need me to do. For Coach Rashid to be a channel to the players, things that we discuss and how I can relay it to my teammates. But just to be that glue, I think more of all is what I expect to see from myself that I wasn't in a position before on prior teams, between the coaching staff and just the players, just with my experience.
Awesome. Thank you. I appreciate you.
All right. Thank you. Jordan, go ahead.
Hey ladies, Jordan from Television Sports. Hope you all are doing well today. So my first question is for both players. Just talk about what are you guys' individual goals going into this upcoming season?
I could start. I would say, of course, with this being my first year, the biggest goal for me is just to stay present in the moment, enjoy the process, and trust the process.
For me, this actually is the first season where I didn't come in with any personal goals. I'm very content in things I've been able to achieve, the things I've been able to do in my career. I think the biggest goal for me is just to be a great leader and just to be a great teammate. To me, that's what really will close the circle in my career, just to be able to make sure that my teammates here have a fruitful career like I've had and I've been able to experience over a 14-year span. So my focus is really just how I can serve my teammates, how I can help the coaching staff, and make everybody's job easier.
And just a quick follow-up for both of you guys as well. What are your go-to styles going on game days?
Go
And I
through.
guess outfits, like go-to outfits or your style.
I would say for home games, mine is to be a lot more dressed up, and away games would be more relaxed and chill.
For me personally, I take pride in being a professional, so I'm always going to look a professional, regardless home or away. It's not to take away from what my teammates choose to do, but that's just who I am.
Thank you, ladies.
All right. Thank you. Andrew, you're up.
Thanks as always, Ron. Andrew Jones of Believe Network. First, a question for Tina and Ethan. What's the favorite thing that you learned about working with Rashid so far? And for you, Rashid, what's your favorite thing about both working with Tina and Aneesah? So for you first, Tina.
For me, with Coach Rashid, I really enjoy his personality. I enjoy the calmness that he has, the poise that he has. Even seeing him in games, I think for a first-year head coach, there's a confidence that he has, that he's taking ownership of. I love the fact that he's willing to listen and hear out to the team. I want to say he's a player's coach, and I appreciate that later in my career, to have someone with such personality, a poise, and a calmness, and willing to take feedback and make changes to what will serve the entire team. Very team first versus what will make him comfortable. It's really what will make the players comfortable so we can get to success in the process that we need. And it's very appreciated.
And for you, Aneesah?
I would say the same thing. Honestly, his personality. I came from LSU and Coach Moki. We know how Coach Moki is. She's an amazing coach, but her personality and the passion for the game is a little different. And say Coach here is very calm. He's very collected when it comes down to certain things.
And for you, Rashid, to work with legendary player like Tina and with a promising rookie like Nisha, just your thoughts about them so far.
Tina, she's very important for me because my goal is to migrate my game style and also my personality to the W. And she's helping me to adjust my personality and my game style to the W. So I talk a lot with her, and she gives me her feedback after the practice. How maybe I can make make a better practice structure and the stuff like that, because I will be I will be stupid if I didn't ask to Tina how I can be a better coach. And I asked to Nice, how I can operate with the new players, young players, because she comes from the college, so it's something new for me also. So just asking her, how I can be better for her, or how I can help her, because she's not the only one new in our team. So we have Sanaya, we have Raya, and Madison right now. So just ask her how I have to manage them.
All right, thank you. Aya, you're up, and then Annie. Aya, and then Annie.
Hey all, it's nice to meet you all. It's Aya for Ball's Life. I have a question for Rachid. How do you make a transition from being a head coach in overseas women's basketball to being a head coach for a WNBA team?
So can you
Your transition from being an overseas coach to the WNBA, how has the transition been? How have you
the
been
transition was very, very good, because I think that I have a lot of good people around me who are helping me to adjust myself, and I had a very good welcome, and like I said, players are helping me to have a better transition. But I am here for bring my personality, and I know that it's a big challenge for me, and I have to face it. But I am ready to face the challenge.
And how do you see a difference from overseas competitive play to the WNBA? Like, even though you have coached 2 preseason games, and especially you be coaching your first regular season game on like this weekend, how do you envision the difference and how you can adjust it so far?
I think that the big difference it's rules, but the game is still the same one. But the rules, the timeouts. But I have like I said, I have a good coaching staff around me with Veronica, Ashley, and Pascal, and so they are helping me a lot, to how I can say, just to be at the level, But the game for me is still the same. So not a big difference for me about the game. And I already coached many WNBA players overseas, so there's no a big difference with that.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Annie, you're up.
Hey guys, Annie Constable, Front Office Sports. Tina, these questions are for you. So, news obviously came out yesterday about ownership seeking a sale. I'm curious, not only as a player who's drafted there first overall in 2010, but just a certified leader in this league, what was the team's reaction to that news?
I think the team's reaction was, of course, naturally, like, what is going on. But in the WNBA, you have seen this, you have seen these types of headlines, and you just trust your ownership is going to put the organization in the best position possible. I think other teams that has been in this situation, it always ended on a positive. always was, what's best for the players, was going to allow the WNBA to continue to grow forward. And that's what we're trusting. They have their job, and our job is to put the best product on the floor. And we trust that they're going to do their jobs and make the right decision that will benefit the organization and the players and the coaches and the staff moving forward.
So has there been communication between ownership and the players in regard to the sale?
Yes, through Jennifer Rosati, yes.
Okay. And then sorry, lastly, obviously a Connecticut product, UConn, to the Connecticut Sun. What's your opinion on the WNBA being in Connecticut?
I mean, I mean, for me personally, the headline, of course, is bittersweet. For me, I got drafted, I had great years here. I mean, collegiate and professionally. But again, you always want what's best for the WNBA. So I think that's what I hold my hat on. Either way it goes, I don't think the memories, the fans will be lost. It's always going to be here, and it's always going to be known. So we'll see what happens.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, thanks. Back over to Jordan.
Hello again. So my question is for Aneesah. Obviously, you're about to make your WNBA very soon, but I guess just curious, is there one part of your game that you're looking to get better at as the season goes by?
Yes, honestly, something that I've really been working on is slow as pro. I feel like my game is a lot faster when I was playing in college, and I kind of rushed a lot of shots and rushed to get to my spots, but learning the speed of the game and taking my time and using my eyes and my pivots just to make my defender adjust in certain ways to be able to score on them is something that I've really been working on.
Thank you.
And Andrew.
For Rasheed and Aneesah, since Tina is such a staple not only in Connecticut, but in the tri-state, being a Queens legend that she is, Queens, New York, have you leaned on her in terms of notable spots to go to or restaurants? Have you talked to Tina about any of the best places there in Connecticut and in the tri-state area that you've had a chance to maybe visit or will visit?
Yeah, I haven't talked yet. Honestly, the schedule has been pretty busy.
Yeah, we've only been inside the arena.
Yeah.
So I can tell her the restaurants in Mohegan Sun. Like that's we've been majority in the arena.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I hope she does know that as a rookie, you should stick by your vets when you eat out because they'll make sure to take care of you. So give you a little hint. Yeah.
All right, thanks. And over to Ben. Ben, go ahead.
Thank you, Ron. Just following up on some of Annie's questions. I guess for Rasheed, just building off what Tina said, what was Jen's message then to the team about a potential ownership sale, and what was your reaction to that conversation?
What was your reaction to the ownership potential sale from what Jennifer said this morning?
No, I just said to the team that we have to focus on what we can control, and I think that it's something we cannot control. So I think we have to save our energy and put our energy on the court. This is the only thing we can control. We are here for perform. We are here to give our best. So yeah, it means that we don't have to, to pay attention on that, and we trust our president, and so yeah. I used to say that a coach has to coach, and president has to be the best president as possible.
Just what was messaged, I guess, Tina? Was it that they are exploring a sale?
I think like any other business, I think you would just consider all options and make the best, just make the best decision. I think that's the best way, you would say it in a business. Opportunity comes around.
Sounds good. And one quick basketball one, just how have you seen Tina Marina as a leader this year? Obviously she's had a pretty prolific career and has changed teams though all the while. What have you observed from her in this locker room this year?
Is this a question for me?
Whoever wants to take it, just about Marina, I guess. Yeah.
I'll take it. It's the experience, of course. Being in the W, they went through a lot of the history and being around and being in different teams and seeing the different atmospheres. So it's been great being around them because they have so much knowledge about the game, but not even just the game, just the WNBA, how you can be able to accomplish things here, but also use your voice to advocate for yourself.
Thank you.
Okay, and Nikias, go ahead.
Hi everyone. Just a quick one for Tina. I hope this hasn't been asked already. I just wanted to get your early impressions of Olivia Nelson-Ododa, what you've seen from her, and what those conversations have been like with her so far.
I love what I see from Olivia. Just her growth, her poise in the post, wanting to be an offensive threat, not just wanting to be an anchor for us defensively. I think she's definitely grown her game. You know, her and I are very competitive. I try to give her little tidbits as I can. You know, she'll ask me questions, and she definitely leans on me as far as just advice, but I think she's holding her own. It's been such a joy to, you know, always, you know, we've come from UConn to follow, and just to see her maturity today. You know, I think you all are definitely going to see the results from the work that she's been putting in. And she's very coachable, great in the locker room. So I think it's not just, you know, the product she's putting out there on the floor, but just the woman that she's becoming off the court as well, which is a great staple for this organization.
Got you. And as a quick follow-up, as someone that has gotten plenty of buckets throughout your career, how is it difficult to kind of turn on that scorer light or just kind of ramp up your usage or your aggression in that kind of way?
No, not at all. I think that's what I hold my hat on. I think I've always loved to have the ability to score, finding the different challenges, you know, playing against the younger up and coming players like your Stewie, JJ, Asia, you know, Nafisa. I think that's why I'm still here, because I'm very competitive in that way. And how can I still stick around? So no, if I didn't have that motor in me, I think I would be doing not only myself a disservice, but this organization. And I would never put myself in a position where I can't still give my all. So no, I still do love to score.
Appreciate it.
All right, thank you. To our media, stay with us a moment. Coach, Tina, Aneesah, thank you very much for your time. To our media, we are going to bring in Connecticut Sun team president Jen Rosati.
Okay. All right. Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Maybe. Mm-hmm.
Hi, Jen, and welcome. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah.
We will start up right away with question and answer. If you would, we'll go to Andrew and then Annie. Andrew, go ahead.
What do you guys want to know about today?
Thanks a lot, Ron, and that's a perfect start, Jen. But you know, we'll inevitably come there and all that. Just how was the initial discussions in terms of talking with the team about how the team may be up for sale, and just the full process of how those conversations that went so far?
Yeah, I mean, I just want to be clear that our ownership group is exploring all options, you know, to strategically invest in the team. You know, they've been committed to the team's success for over 2 decades, and I can assure you they're not the only ownership group that's, you know, really thinking about, you know, how to keep up with this explosion of interest and excitement around the WNBA, whether it's facilities or, you know, arena size, you know, just continuing to be able to pour in the way that they have over the last couple of decades. So I think as responsible business owners, you know, they made the decision to be strategic about exploring options. And that's exactly what I told the team, is that there hasn't been a decision made other than that, you know, they want to make sure, as Tina said, that they're doing what's best for the organization as well as the WNBA.
And you feel like they've been transparent with you and Morgan throughout the process, of at least telling you, you know, what's going on, and giving you clarity and allowing you out to still do what you've been doing over the past few months.
Absolutely. I mean, this, you know, these conversations don't happen overnight or in one day. You know, the questions about team investment or practice, these are ongoing conversations we have over the last 2 years, right? And so, you know, there has been constant communication. You know, we're not involved in the decision making of what happens with, you know, team ownership or investment, but we certainly are part of the process when it comes to identifying strategic areas where we can improve and getting feedback on how we can continue to elevate player experience in our market, and make sure that we're providing the best scenario that we can to stay, you know, championship contenders at the Connecticut Sun, as we have been over the last 6 seasons.
All right. Thank you, Andrew. We'll go to Annie. Annie, go ahead.
Hey, Jen, thank you for your time this morning on this. So what would it take to keep the franchise in Connecticut then? If you're talking about all options are on the table, what is ownership saying in regards to maintaining control of the franchise and how they do that?
Yeah, I mean, they haven't been super specific about what option or path they're deciding on. It's just more about being consistent about how they're evaluating all of their businesses, right? Connecticut Sun being one of them. So there's, you know, obviously investments that need to be made, and facility enhancements and capital expenditures. And it's something that they evaluate every year. And so I think you know, it's probably essentially a balance of trying to understand what that looks like, and you know, thinking about the past, but as well as the future. But I'm not like privy to necessarily those decisions, just being someone who can inform, you know, where our league is and what are the types of investments that need to be made.
You've been a part of this landscape a long time. You've been involved in multiple ways, multiple levels. What do you think is best for the WNBA and the product when it comes to this franchise?
Well, I mean, I'll say this. I mean, I think that the Connecticut Sun ownership has set a standard for what owning a WNBA team should look like for 2 decades. You know, I think they were at the forefront of a lot of investment before a lot of other teams were there. I think that they have been great for the WNBA in terms of moving the franchise here, investing in it, creating a loyal fan base, bringing it to a state and a community that thrives on, you know, knowing and being a part of women's basketball. And so I think, you know, I think the WNBA and its fans owe a lot to this ownership group for the investment that they have made. As far as what the future holds, you know, I'm kind of, you know, in some ways along for the ride and making sure that I'm providing the best scenario that I can right now here in 2025 for these players. And thinking about, like Rashid said, control what I can control, and thinking about the future when that time comes and that decision is made. If the decision is made to keep it here and you know, invest and build facilities, like I'll be hopefully at the forefront of helping continue to make it one of the most desirable franchises in the WNBA. I mean, there's a reason we've been good for 2 decades, that we've made the postseason 17 out of 21 years, and that this is the first year we've really had a lot of turnover. So I think the narrative has gotten lost here that this has been a desirable location to play. It's a great pace of living, and a lot of people have wanted to build their careers or end their careers here. So I wanted that to be, you know, clear that we're going to pour into this franchise as long as it's here. If it ends up not being the case, then, you know, we'll worry about that when the time comes. But you know, we're excited about kind of our new identity and refreshing here with new coaches and new players. And you know, on Sunday when we have our home opener, we're just mostly focused on you know, providing a great product for a sellout crowd in a WNBA season where interest and viewership is at an all-time high. And I will continue to remain focused on that until somebody tells me otherwise.
Just a quick clarification. So you are not privy to all discussions. Is that accurate?
No.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. We have time for just a couple more. Go to Ben. Ben, go ahead.
Thanks, Ron. Just to build off what you were just saying, Jen, I mean, do you still believe that the Tribe can support a WNBA contender in this market?
Yeah, I mean, I've been here for 4 years. I think the Tribe can support whatever they want, whatever decision they make. You know, I think I don't know if anyone's ever been here to Mohegan Sun or any of the properties that they own, but they do everything first class. You know, they pride themselves on guest experience and attention to detail and true investment in the right ways. And I know we haven't been super vocal all the time in the media about what we have done for our team, but we have poured into them over the last 4 years that I've been here. So if the tribe decides they want to own this team, they're as competitive, I think, as any ownership group in the league. And, I'll be excited to have those conversations with them for sure.
Gotcha. And just to then also clarify what you were saying, like, do you so is a potential limited partner, like minority ownership a sale on the table here as an option to potentially reinvest in the franchise? I mean, is that what you're kind of saying when you're talking about?
Yeah, I mean, I think right now all options are on the table, right? We've seen franchises get sold and remain in their cities like Atlanta. We've seen franchises like Seattle do a minority investment and build a practice facility and pour in a capital raise and build a practice facility. So, I think at this day and age, I got to imagine we're not the only team, and I don't have the only ownership group that's thinking about options for continued investment in the team, based on where the league is and based on, expectations of where, we need to be in terms of a facility standpoint. So yes, at this point, that option is on the table.
Gotcha. And did they provide a timeline?
No.
Okay.
All right, thanks. And we have time for just one more. We're going to go to Megan. Megan, go ahead.
Hey, Jane, it's Megan Hall with USA Today. Wanted to just ask you, because Tina touched on it earlier, about keeping calm in the middle of something like this. And I think you kind of hinted at that as well. How do you stay grounded in when there's like so much chatter outside of, of your facility walls?
Well, hopefully the players and coaches can do that a little bit better than I can. The message I gave them this morning is that, we're going to be playing the 2025 season here, and we're going to be committed to making it the best season that we can in every aspect. And so I just asked them to focus on that, right? I asked them to trust that we're going to provide the atmosphere at our home games that they need to, have that 6-man crowd. I've asked them to focus on continuing to work hard and get to know each other and embrace the newness of this franchise right now and have some fun with it, right? And I think they'll be able to do that. I mean, unless you guys continue to distract them with questions about this, right? I think for me, I've been around a while. I'm a mom. I've been a coach for a long time. If anyone knows how to compartmentalize, it's me. So, I'll be able to continue to work hard on the business side, to sell out our games and, build sponsorships that align with our values and, support Morgan Tuck in the decisions that she makes on the basketball side. And then if there's anything else that's asked of me for the future, I'll be prepared to do that too. But I wouldn't want to be anywhere else, right? Like being a part of the WNBA right now is the best job in the world, right? I get to support these athletes. I get to provide a platform for them and amplify their voices. I get to provide entertainment for a fan base in Connecticut that has been, one of the best fan bases in the world when it comes to women's basketball. So I'm excited for the season. I'm gonna do everything that I can to just keep my focus where it needs to be and be able to present that calm leadership that our entire organization needs right now and limit any distractions that I can from everybody doing their job at the best level that they can.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
Yeah.
All right, Jen, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for your time.
Yep.
To our media, thank you for your time. This concludes our 2025 preseason Zoom sessions with WNBA teams. To all of you who've participated, thanks much. Jen, again, thank you. Alexandra, thank you for arranging everything.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Jen. Have a
Bye,
good day.
everybody.